Today's the anniversary of Kobe and his 81-point game. Just an incredible performance. One of the greatest individual performances in not just NBA history, but really basketball history. I mean, when you look at what Kobe was able to do that night and the fact that he needed to score those 81 points just for the Lakers to win that game, it was beyond impressive. And he did it with the flow of the game. He did it within the desperation. I mean, you have people out there that say Wilt's 100-point game is still more impressive because it's untouchable. It's 1-0-0. For me, I'm going Kobe's 81-point game. I think it's more impressive for a lot of different reasons. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Why Kobe's 81-point game in 2006 was a more impressive performance than Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in 1962. And yes, I'm not one of those freaks, one of those conspiracy theorists that think that Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game never happened. Pablo Torre did a show recently where they went through multiple radio broadcasts, and yes, there was no video footage of it, but it did happen, okay? Let's put that to rest. But let's ignore the fact that Wilt has 6 out of the top 10 single game scoring performances all time. Let's forget all that. Let's ignore the other positive things he did in that game. 25 rebounds. The first thing that you need to know about Kobe's 81 versus Wilt's 100 is the pace of play was very different in 1962 versus 2006. The Philadelphia Warriors shot 115 times in that game. 115 times to get Wilt to 100. By the way, they were like force feeding the ball to Wilt. He was playing a bunch of plumbers and dudes who were like not close to being as big and tall as he was. But his team shot 115 times. Kobe's Lakers shot 88 times that game. Both teams shot over the average shots per game that year, with the Lakers shooting 10% more than the league average, which is 79.7 shots per game that year. The Warriors shot 7% more, which is 107.7 shots per game. So both took more shots than we typically see in an NBA game. But when you look at the pace of play for the NBA overall, it was just totally different, because in that era, scoring was actually a lot higher. In that era, the average points per game for an NBA game in 1962 was 118 points. How wild is that? That was the average, 118 points. In 2006, the year that Kobe's dropped 81, the average NBA game, a team scored 97 points. So scoring was actually down. It actually was. Now, the quality of competition, too, was a lot higher in 2006 than it was in 1962. And Wilt, he scored 100 of 169 points that night. So his Warriors team scored 169 points that night. He scored 100 of them. So he scored 59.17% of his team's shots. He made, of the 63 of the 115 shots. And he made, and you look at where Kobe was, he scored 81 on 122 points. So that's 66% on 46 of 88 shots. And he made 28 of 42 shots at 66.67%. I'm not going to do it. 6'7". Not going to do it. But what that number proves to you, though, is that Kobe contributed more to his team's overall points on a less percentage of shots. The free throw side, that's a wash. They're pretty similar. Wilt made 65% of his team's free throws. Kobe made 64.3% of his team's free throws. But if you look at the adjusted Kobe to shot moments, it would have had to been a much bigger discrepancy there. So around 25% of Kobe's shots in the game were 3-pointers. And that's kind of the only thing that you could say for Wilt is that they didn't have the 3-point line. But it's not like Wilt was going to be shooting a bunch of 3-pointers. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I would put Kobe's 62-point game in 3 quarters ahead of Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. I really would. And I'll never forget that Phil Jackson went over to Kobe and asked him if he wanted to stay in the game to say 70. And Kobe's like, nah, I'll get it a couple games later. And he ended up scoring 81 3 weeks later. So yeah, I got Kobe's 81 is a much more impressive performance than Wilt Chamberlain's 100. Wilt, they were trying to get him to 100. Kobe had to score that to get in the flow of the game. He did it in the flow of the game for several reasons. It's so much better. I mean, think about this. The Lakers trailed by 18 points in the third quarter of that game. He dropped a double nickel in the second half. He outscored his teammates by 40 points. He was 28 for 46 from the field, 7 for 13 from beyond the arc, made 18 of 20 free throws. By the way, I did cop the Kobe 81-point Nike Kobe ones today. 210 plus tax. I remember getting Kobe ones for 130 plus tax back in the day. But yeah, an incredible performance, one that lives for the ages. I will say it's tough to have that ahead of Shohei Ohtani's NLCS Game 4. We had 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts as a pitcher, but it's certainly in the conversation. What say you, BDR?
Yeah, I like the Kobe game was iconic. I watched that on TV back in the day for sure. But the Shohei one, yeah, that's like great modern history. It was a playoff moment too. So that is probably a little bit of a greater sports moment overall. But that being said, though, 81, second most. We saw it on camera. That I know the 100-point game happened, but the fact that we were able to see this Kobe game, we saw it in real time, and it was during the era. It was in this prime. It was number 8. So yeah, go stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he played the modern era. Like, he really did. I gave you guys all the facts you need. I rest my credit. I'll drop the mic on that one. I proved it to you guys. Okay, I really did. Like, he 100% had the better game, and it was in the flow of the game, and Mamba for life. All right,